Latrell Deshaun Gaulden, better known to the world as NBA YoungBoy, was born October 20th, 1999 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A troubled life seemed to find him at a very early age. He broke his neck and had to wear a neck brace until his spine healed. The brace left 3 permanent marks on his forehead. He was only 4 years old. He lost his father to prison before his teenage years and dropped out of high school in 9th grade. With no supervision and no support system, he turned to the streets for survival. He was arrested for armed robbery, which was his first serious crime, but it wasn't his last. He did his first jail stint in Tallulah, Louisiana, which is a horrible place for any teenager to go.
You finding yourself in your music as you doing this?
I guess. I don't think I'm looking for myself.
What you looking for?
Shit, millions of dollars.
Psychologically his rap career took off, but unfortunately so did his crime record. It seems the more albums he sold, the bigger the crimes got, including murder. This episode begins when a 10-year-old young boy goes to live with his grandmother due to the lack of supervision within his own home. He was a little guy with no father figure to show him the ropes of life until he met his first significant friend, Lil Herc. Lil Herc and young boy had lots in common, mainly being broke, so together they began executing one of the riskiest hustles ever, running in houses. Lil Herc and young boy was 2 of the youngest at the camp, but Lil Herc's big dog and older brother, G Money, was an exceptional hustler, a skillful rapper, and a major influence to everyone around him.
I ain't never had no problem with him and my big brother, even though I introduced him to my big brother. You know, we went to the same school and all that together. They was my little partner. But they wanted to be rappers and shit. I went with all that.
Through Lil Herc, young boy met G Money, and it was at that moment that the birth of the new era Baton Rouge feud was born. And it seems that everything that happened in their lives from that point became significant for who they would later become. Young boy's B&E game turned sour after being arrested and sentenced to a juvenile bid, where he spent his time in one of the worst juvenile jails in the US, Tallulah, Louisiana. And to make matters worse, the departure of his grandmother left him without a support system, which means he had nobody's direct love and ultimately no place to stay. After befriending the real G Money, young boy became a constant fixture within his life, and even moved in with G Money and his family after young boy's staggering living situation was revealed to them. Although he had the assistance of a couple of neighborhood people, including his longtime friend 33, G Money took him in as a little brother and even assisted him with his rap skills. The reason you see young boy wearing the TBG hoodie, taking pictures with TBG members, and is cameoed in the iPhone 6 video is because young boy had signed to TBG Records, and although he was now in the circle, he wasn't making any money, so he left. Sources say TBG tried to re-sign young boy without a cash advance offer, in which he turned down for the purpose of controlling his own destiny. So he left the label, teamed up with his partner 33, and together they gave birth to Never Broke Again. At this point, everything was kosher between TBG and NBA, but fast forward 1 year ahead, and what started out as a friendship between them had turned sour.
Young boy, not TBG, NBA, it's so living. Better play, he gon' get it. Talk about me like I ain't with it.
With his newfound success and an odd turn of events, young boy indirectly reached back and shined the light on TBG by starting a verbal war that would later claim lives, and Boozilla, G Money, NBA Dunk, Boulevard Quick, and several others all fell victim to it. A timeline of departures that started with young boy in the center of it all. Keandre Ricks, better known to the world as Boozilla, was a Baton Rouge native, hustler, rapper, and cousin to NBA YoungBoy.
Walking in the cold, living fast, never been up. Bottom boys, you already know.
There's 2 different stories going around about what really happened between Boozilla, YoungBoy, and G Money, and both stories place YB in the middle. One story says he stole a pack from Boozilla, and the other says he told on him. Either way, young boy was at fault and was now an enemy of his own family. At that time, he wasn't the same NBA young boy we know of today, so the love and protection that surrounds him now wasn't there for him then. He had put himself between a rock and a full drum, so he played his TBG card and gained the protection from G Money Money against Boozilla.
Had me looking for your cousin, he wanted to kill you. I put a third up under my pills.
Thanks to G Money, YoungBoy had once again escaped the life-threatening situation, but due to the way he moved, he kept on putting himself back into them. Beef ain't never squashed, but in this case it did die down to the point of YoungBoy and Boozilla becoming friends again. The brand became NBA and the ops TBG.
So much of shit, I had to play it wrong. This game dirty, but it's fair. That's what I was taught.
When the smoke first got started, Boozilla was the first to go. An event that sources say was orchestrated by the real G Money and performed by a close associate who goes by the name of Dussa.
We back to the business, you know what it is. We living that life and you know that we is. You get in my way, then you feeling it still.
According to the streets, both G Money and Dussa had a mutual dislike for Boozilla, so they decided to lay him down. Late night Wednesday on November 2nd, 2016, Boozilla would see his last sunrise, and all fingers pointed at G Money and Dussa. Dussa was arrested and have been in jail since, while G Money went on to claim his position as Baton Rouge's new era king.
These old steady throwing crosses that should never fail. It makes so when you catch a charge that you never tell. Everywhere I go, they ask them what's up with it. Got love for sister, I can't get them killed. Even though you went to tripping when you got a deal. You was my son, let's keep it G, the people know the real. Just because you know how to rap, that don't make you no killer. Sneak this in TBG on wax, but you saw was a pillar. Remember you crying up in Rams, your mama was with you. You can ask her, think I'm lying, that's one of your niggas. From the pen to the streets, you know I'm official. If you was living with a Benz, take one to come get you.
Before the rise of Never Broke Again, the real G Money along with TBG was the city's next big thing. And even though he didn't come out first, G's rap career was about to match that of YoungBoy's. But his alleged bad seeds planted against Boozilla was about to sprout, and G would have to lay in the bed he made for himself. In September of 2017, G's time was up and his life was taken in the same fashion as Boozilla's. G's departure was a major turning point for TBG and also gave an introduction to the BBGs within the BR feud.
Baton Rouge police are looking into a deadly shooting that claimed the life of a local rapper. Police say someone shot and killed 22-year-old Garrett Burton on Dallas Street around 1:20 last night. Burton performed under the name G Money. Right now, police have not named any suspects or motive.
Really out my mind, feel like okay, I can't let it slide, gotta touch him. Draw down with the iron, never club it. Pressure hit, I ain't never run. Coolin' while I'm on the phone with dumb. Thanks star for giving me a sign. Montana say he come and never come. On house arrest, thugging at the house. Why you floating around the city?
Desmond Hartnett, better known to the hip-hop community as Dump, was a Never Broke Again affiliate with strong ties to the BBGs and was a Baton Rouge hustler who had a major influence within the friction between TBG and NBA.
Shook me, you know I ain't you can say it, bro. No advice to the shit, what it is. Bitch, I see you looking, shooting on sight. No, I ain't hooking in the bottom with Dussa. When they come, all you do is whistle. Players prison after central booking. They really thought Funny Mike.
Sources say although Dump didn't get his hands dirty, he was the deciding factor in what happened to G Money. And since the ball was in TBG's court, they decided to make him famous. On Friday afternoon, May 14, 2018, while sitting in his car with a lady friend, shots rang out from a passing car with Dump as the target. When the smoke cleared, they were both shot and rushed to the hospital where the woman victim survived. But Dump wasn't so fortunate.
Rest in peace to my big Dump, I miss you, I just wish I was there.
Today in the streets of BR, throwing a brick and hiding your hand doesn't work anymore, and every man is accountable for his own actions.
TBG Gorilla Gang, ain't on my body. Baby, ain't stay in the hide and slide with a rocket.
The streets say Boulevard Quick was responsible for what happened to Dump. Boulevard Quick was a street guy and a product of BR's jail system turned rapper, and it showed in his lyrics as well as his character. His biggest issue was separating the industry from the streets, and where some rappers care about such things, he didn't.
I don't got no flaws. Yeah. Only flaw I got is keeping it too real. Yeah, I ain't got a flaw in me. I ain't never checked off line. I never got over in the pairs. And I stood on all 10 of these people's streets.
He expressed himself to the fullest on every topic, which rapidly grew his fan base, but also drew close attention from the opposition. On November 29, 2016, The Advocate read, Baton Rouge rapper Ashton Wells, stage name Boulevard Quick, was found dead Monday 26, 2018. It went on to say in Boulevard Quick's homicide, police are investigating Baton Rouge rap beef as a possible motive.
And all of my red, and all of my angry. You play with me, you gon' stab me. Diamonds all up on my neck, 100,000, 100K on my chest. Run up in the fed, run up, we on fed. Hold up, get a fee for the show. Call with me on the road. I be all over. Boy, you know how that go. And all my keep pose, boom. And all my going pose. I got K up on the phone. Before the camera about to
Before the whole truth came out, we all prejudged the situation and prematurely took sides. And no matter how much of it we've watched online about it, truth is we're all still on the outside looking in. Where some felt like YoungBoy owed G Money for all the things he did for him as a youngin', others took YoungBoy's side and ran with it. Only G Money, YoungBoy, and those who were directly involved knows what really happened, and 10 times out of 10, there's way more to it than we know.
I let you talk a lot and don't get in y'all business. Ask me for that paperwork to see who really snitching. They tryna catch slipping, I won't be a victim. I run my city hands down, bitch, I been a minute. Quick came home, applied pressure, but he still ain't finished. Me and Blood tryna ride about 50 more. I caught a case, I'm back in court, got the laws on my trail. My judge a bitch, he hope I slipped and put me back in jail. These hoes steady throwing crosses, that shit never fail. It makes so when you catch a charge that you never tell.
Boy, you got me fucked up, boy. You came in that bitch with a gun like you was tipping something, but your bitch ass ran when my shit came out. You ain't touch me.
Songs from both rappers included death threats, which both were highly capable of. Fortunately, no real violence ever broke out between the two Baton Rouge rappers, but it sure drew a lot of attention, which meant more album sales. With money and fame comes power, and power in the wrong hands can tear down many of worlds. November 2nd, 2016, a 17-year-old NBA YoungBoy and 3 accomplices fired multiple gunshots out of a moving car at rivals as a retaliation for the death of his friend. Immediately after the shooting, YoungBoy and his accomplice fled the scene, but the driver being shot in the neck crashed the car, so they all got away on foot. A warrant was issued by Baton Rouge Police Department for his arrest for 2 attempt second-degree murder charges.
A young rap artist is facing charges now in connection to a shooting near the LSU Lakes. We're told that Contrell Galden, whose stage name is NBA YoungBoy, was taken into custody last week by federal authorities before a concert in Austin, Texas. The 17-year-old is accused of being involved in that shootout on Kentucky Street on November 2nd. The car he was in was later found on East Lakeshore Drive. Galden is charged with 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder. YoungBoy sat in East Baton Rouge jail for almost a year before being handed a suspended 10-year jail sentence. A suspended sentence is complicated and can be arranged in many different ways. In his case, all he had to do was stay out of trouble for 3 years, and he wouldn't have to serve any of it. May 2017, he was released from jail. 1 week later, he made a major statement to the world by dropping the single Untouchable, a taunting to the law, "You can't fuck with me." And from the looks of business, he was right. With all the legal drama behind him, he continued business as usual, but now bigger than ever. On August 3rd, 2017, he released his mixtape, Al Youngboy, which charted at number 24 on the Billboard's 200, and the single Untouchable peaked at number 95 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart. His elevated status made him lots of money, a wider audience, and a position at the big dog's table. But it also made him a target to those that hated him and wanted to see his downfall. He continued to push his career with the same energy he started with, and that's the world. It's NBA for life.
Bitch, I'm in your city. Let me know when you come back. I'm here the whole week.
He's been stamped and approved by 2 of Baton Rouge's native big dogs, Kevin Gates and the king of BR himself, Boosie, both of whom gave him advice, featured on songs, and even vouched for him on several occasions.
Lil Mucho, he's my little brother also. He dead. I got YB my little son.
In July 2018, Kevin Gates went 10 steps ahead after revealing to the world his YoungBoy tattoo and says he got it due to his love for YB, and it's a great way to give someone their props and roses while they're still here.
Blair! Hold on, ain't he fresh? Hold on. Yeah, with the snake belt on everything.
Bite down. Yeah.
Stop playing. I'm gonna, yeah, what did you say?
Boosie also played a major role in his mentorship and have extended his time and expertise to YB on several occasions. They've recorded songs together, hung out on many occasions, and appear to have a strong brotherly bond.
Hey, where you at?
What's up, baby?
Where you at?
I'm in A. Shit, I'm in A. I'm in the crib.
Mike, I'm trying to pull up.
You in A?
Yeah, what you at? What up?
I'm finna see the address.
Why be crazy? That'd be crazy. I gotta get a track. What tone that? Tone in there? Tone in there? Oh, yeah. Tell Tone put on some beat. I'm finna, YB finna go dumb in this.
They're real blood brothers through their father, so the blood they share runs deep, and the heartless, unforgiving streets of Baton Rouge has much to do with it.
What you on, man?
Where you at?
Huh?
Where you at?
I'm on. Why, you need me?
You at VR?
I ain't forward up.
In late 2019, YoungBoy was in the news again, but this time it wasn't about him. Two of his younger siblings were wanted for their involvement in a homicide case, one of which just hit the rap scene, and his career is already mimicking the life of Big Bro.
I got your little brother with me, and you know.
How you banging through shit?
Huh? You too.
They told me be cool till I try. I'm thinking can't keep my hand on fire. They hate now they all bye-bye.
Jeffrey Tate, newly known to the rap game as B-Way Youngie, hit the music scene in late January 2020 and is rapidly making a name for himself within the rap community. He released several singles with matching videos, with most notable being his first release titled Sin Again.
Papa say the shit you do, believe it and catch a with you. Daddy's still in jail, but he know that I'm clutching pistols.
Cool. Hold up, let me show you something, boy. I'm still on the...
He resembles YoungBoy in many ways, and at only 16 years old, his career is wide open for takeoff. But due to his involvement in a Baton Rouge homicide, may be a bad look for his future and career. In late 2019, Tate, his older brother, and a partner allegedly sparked an altercation with a 16-year-old that ended in the victim's life being taken. Afterwards, Tate and his older brother made the dash, where they stayed on the run for 2 days before being apprehended by the police. B-Way Youngie and his partner was booked with principal to second-degree murder, while YB's 18-year-old brother was charged with an actual second-degree murder. Young, rich, and famous would describe his life. Surviving the jungles of BR streets would describe his past. And a father, role model, and megastar is who he is. NBA YoungBoy.
I go by YoungBoy and I zip you up from talking shit.
His ability to drop back-to-back hit songs is partially due to reinventing himself in each song, and is the main reason he's the most online viewed artist and the most demanded for shows. He's the prince of BR and the leader of the new school, which puts him at the top of the food chain when it comes to industry feed-up. He lived most of his life in the public's eye, and we've bared witness to it all, from his breakup with TBG, the birth of all his children, his love life, and his elevating rise to the top of the game. Through it all, he's been street tested, constantly arrested, beefed with the best of them, and threatened with a 10-year jail sentence, all of which he stood tall through and came out on the other end untouched. He's topped all the charts, created and topped new records, and even pulled off a Michael Jackson remix titled Dirty Ayana. YoungBoy have mastered his craft and is dominant in his field, which makes him the big fish in the pond. So the next level for such a giant would be movies, Grammys, and even mainstream America. As strong as the NBA brand is, you never know.